Have you heard of the fast track approval bill? Now, don't get me wrong, I'm all for industrialisation and progress. But it's not just us woke liberals that care for the environment, it's the conservative voter base as well, who like to use our national parks, and they also value our wildlife and fauna. Now, recently, National's Chris Bishop put through the fast track approval bill. Now, this new legislation is far-reaching, offering unbridled powers to 3 government ministers without consultation: Shane Jones, Chris Bishop, and Simeon Brown. Now, these 3 ministers can basically greenlight any industrial project anywhere in the country without any form of public scrutiny. For example, they could start mining in areas that attract a lot of tourism, like the Karangahake Gorge or Fiordland National Park. Our nation's tourism revenue could be affected if unethical industrial development occurs in our beautiful landscapes. The ministers can appoint their own expert panel, and that panel could possibly be made up of Rio Tinto executives. After the minister getting advice from this expert panel can still disregard any and all advice and go ahead with the industrial project anyway. Now, there is no option for the public to give feedback on any project that has been authorised by the ministers. The New Zealand public will not be given an option to have a say on anything. Now, this bill bypasses the Resource Management Act, the Conservation Act, the Wildlife Act, the Reserves Act, and the EEZ Act. The legislation voids the Environmental Protection Authority. Now, all this legislation was designed for the purpose of protecting our environment from environmental damage, but it will now be bypassed. We can expect every project to go through this fast track approval method. Why would any company or corporate go through the traditional methods where environmental scrutiny exists? This bill is basically a dream come true for developers, mining companies, or any other industrial private interest. This seems a lot like we're offering the conservation estate to private corporate interests as a form of influence peddling. Yep, Aotearoa is for sale. Now, not since the Think Big project in the 1970s have we seen such drastic legislation to dramatically build industrial projects. Now, submissions to contest this bill end on Friday the 19th of April. The Environmental Defence Society has released a submission template that you can submit to contest this legislation, as many New Zealanders feel uncomfortable offering 3 ministers the powers to build open cast mines in our national parks. The link is in the description below.